I'm going to click it and see what happens. And there.
The following podcast may be explicit. One Joe Young presents Adventures from the Shed, a tabletop RPG podcast. You can find us online at adventuresfromtheshed.com.
Hey, and you can find us right here at Adventures from the Shed online. You'll find us on Podbean, on all your, podcast apps and all that stuff. We're going to kick it over to Jason to get us back into the world of Erridan.
Do we really want to go back to this world, though? I mean, let's just ask around here. No, I'm just kidding. Of course, we want to go back into it here. I've missed it, and now that we have the ability to play, I'm very excited to jump back in. So, with that, we will go around and introduce everybody as per usual. So, starting off, I believe, with Chris, who is usually the one to kick us off.
Been trying to burn the city down for weeks, but it's too damn big. Hey, this is Chris. I'm playing Ophidian, the Yuan-Ti Pureblood rogue.
That would bring it to this handsome chap here. I'm Eli, playing Raze, a tiefling bard who recently probably got away with murder.
And I am Joe, the slightly less attractive person. I am playing Rolix, the War-Forged Artificer.
And I am Brandy, the sloth-like, from the Goonies-looking guy. And I play the Tabaxi named, what is the mind character's name? It's been too long.
You
said it like 10 seconds ago.
Yeah. Remember the voice, Randy.
Yeah, you were talking about your voice.
Less, that's right. Less is more. Follower of paths less taken. That's his full name. Right. And he's a fighter, and we're ready to go. And I'm going to try to get this guy in jail.
You got a little bit too distracted thinking of the Goonies and Sloth right now.
Yeah.
My brain only works like one step at a time.
Let's go on that adventure instead.
There we go.
Hey, you guys!
We're just gonna do an audio podcast retelling of the Goonies instead. All right. Well,
so there's a small town called Astoria.
All right. So, last we left off, our group of adventurers had woken up to a very, very interesting situation where, in the night, unbeknownst to them, Raze had seemingly killed Shyla, the artificer woman who helped them sneak into the actual quarantine districts and, quite honestly, probably saved their lives in the sewers by using her abilities to, again, get them through the barrier before this massive creature came and tore them asunder. During this exit, the group learned many things. Rolix and Les discovered that the pale or the darkish skin, it was like a pale dark skinned creature that attacked them in the actual district, might have a connection to their long lost family, the one that they used to protect. While Ophidian, again, learning quite a bit about some of the mysterious secrets going on with what's going on behind the curtains that these nobles and that these individuals who control the city are planning, went to go see his contact at the Erridan Gazette and discovered quite a few things that the Wintermere family was trying to suppress or change to sway the public and make sure that they remained in power. Ophidian also received a couple of items, or a item of interest from Annette that he has brought back to the actual group. We're going to pick up in the actual tavern. It is late morning right now, as Raze has been subtly sabotaging Les's investigation of the crime scene with the body of Shyla. The Tabaxi Les has asked the barmaid, to reach out to the city guard and let them know that there was a dead body inside of the actual tavern. If this is a good idea, calling the guards around a situation like this, we'll find out shortly here. But the guards have finally showed up, and so has Ophidian. Ophidian is trailing right behind them, making his way to regroup with the rest of the party. And that is where we're going to pick up. Unless anybody has any questions or anything that I can fill out. It's been a few weeks since we've been able to play, so if any players have anything that they need clarified before we begin, let's get that taken care of now. If not, we'll jump right into it.
My only clarification is logistical/mechanical. We were all healed up and everything, long rests, etc. Because
everyone had their long rests.
Right.
Yep. Everyone had their long rest. Everyone was ready to rock and roll. And I believe, I don't think anyone used any crazy spell slots. I think only some cantrips were used. So everyone should be good with their spells and everything else.
I think the only one that might be affected by anything right now is the horrible murderer who probably has something heavy on his conscience. Whoever that may be.
Sure, he's feeling fine.
That's where you're wrong, kiddo.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did also want to clarify with the way you presented it. It sounded like people were kind of suspecting me.
No.
At this point in time, yes, I did murder her. At this point in time, nobody knows that. And nobody
I was just putting that on for flavor text for the audience here. So that's it. No, in terms of the actual in-world gaming stuff here, Les is completely oblivious to that you had anything to do with this right now because he has not been the most successful at the crime scene. And then Rolex hasn't really been doing too much. He just started to kind of look around here at the actual investigation. So no one believes anything or suspects Rays at this moment.
And Rolex was also told by Les to go tell the bartender not to let anyone leave and went off to do that. So he's more playing errand boy at this point.
Yes. Yeah. So the flavor beforehand was just me, again, setting the scene for people who are listening.
All right. That's
in case anyone forgot your horrible crime. All right.
So I didn't want to extend the thing anymore because we spent a lot of the last episode on the whole entire detective scene. So I'm just going to lead in here. And I'm sorry about all this is going on, Rays. I know this must be hard for you too. She was our friend. It just stinks that I can't figure out. Like, it seems like it should be a Wintermere guard, but it's just not adding up to me. I'm sorry. I won't trouble you anymore with this. And then he'll turn to the body.
She was more than just a friend, Les. She was a business partner.
I'm sorry. Whatever coward did this to you, I'll find them and they'll pay. I swear.
For those of you who can't see this here, Eli, who's playing Rays, just kind of like just pulled the collar down in his shirt a little bit. Okay, the guards have arrived, and there are two of them. They come in; they are dressed in their typical kind of Wintermere garb, short kind of cloaks and things, short swords, crossbows, things like that. Things that you guys are very, very well versed in. And as they wander in here, the barmaid she looks at you, Rolex, who was the one who came down, of course. She's like, all right, fine, the guards are here now. Yes, this one here says that there's some sort of body upstairs again. Please, would you go and take care of this? And they kind of go, another body in this district here. All right, you, sir, machine, take us to the scene, please.
Yes, it is right this way.
Okay.
Just lead them down to that room. Yeah.
Yeah. As you lead them up there, again, Les and Rays, you hear footsteps, heavy footsteps coming up here, some of them being from Rolex. And then also, Ophidian, this is when you arrive at the bar. You kind of come in right behind the guards, and you see them walking upstairs to where your friends were most likely at for the night.
Did she put her broken device back into a bag to see about trying to fix it at some later time?
Yes, it's on
possibly.
It's on her personal belongings.
Okay. So those guards don't specifically find it. I'm going to go ahead and quickly stash that away.
You have a second to do it right now if you wanted to before they get there.
If I could, yeah.
Yeah, make it just a sleight of hand check real quick.
Which device are you talking about? The shield thing?
It's like a shield
disabling
thing.
Yeah, it was basically it basically created like this canopy above her that looked like a shield. That
she also had the spider thing or whatever that disabled the Warforged, and I wasn't sure which device we were talking about.
Okay, so let's
get 11. So.
11. With an 11, you just get it into your sack right as Rolex turns the corner and a guard turns his head inside. And he goes, "What's all this here? Who are you? This is a crime scene."
Former ex-soldier, follower of paths less taken. I was leading the investigation, and here's a copy of all the notes that I have taken of the situation at hand.
Okay. Make me a persuasion check, please. Rays, are you doing anything?
Rays he's going to introduce himself. Just
21.
Oh, okay.
I'm Rays. I was the one who found the body. I was told not to leave.
Okay. All right. So as you hand over the paperwork, I mean, Rays, you're kind of impressed as you kind of get a sneak and look at the paperwork here. regardless of the fact that Les has not been very good at finding clues, the paperwork is in order. Like it is like in triplicate form right here. He has been taking some fantastic notes on things, and they go,
I see what job he had at the department.
they go through and they go, oh my, this is. He hands it over. He goes, Gerald, look at this. He goes, which precinct are you from, soldier?
I am no longer at any precinct at this time. I am considering getting back into it, though.
He goes, well, paperwork is definitely in order here. They look around at the room and they go, did you see anybody? Is there any evidence of someone coming in or out here? Any leads that we can follow?
Windows look like they were untouched. The door was not blocked. It looks like they possibly knew the person, or at least weren't expecting them at all. And
your notes here don't state the name of the individual here. Have we checked the body for identification?
This is, I forget, Sophia, was it? No, it was Shayla. Her name is Shayla. I do not know her last name.
They look over, and one of the guards starts to walk towards them. And again, it's not a very big room. Again, you guys went to like the cheapest place to sleep at for that night, so it's very crowded in there right now. And Rays, as one like starts to move past you here to look at the body, is there anything that you guys want to do? Or Ophidian, is there anything that you want to do as he goes to check?
Nope.
Okay.
No.
All right. I'm sorry, I can't hear you, Joe.
Yeah, you're muted.
You're muted.
I was muted because I heard people shouting in the house. With it being a small room, with that in mind, once people start to stack in, Rolex would stand right outside the door and just kind of lean his head inside the doorway to keep an eye on what's going on.
Yeah, easy enough. Okay, so
as they turn to a new page and start taking notes of what these guards are doing.
As they turn the head of this woman here, the one guard looks down kind of in shock, and he looks back at the other one, and he kind of gives him a nod. And that guard walks over and looks down at them, and he looks back at you, Les, and you, Rays, and you, Rolex, and he goes, "This is Shyla Steelden. She went missing from the Wintermere family not but a day and a half ago, and now she is here murdered. This is quite serious." He looks over and he whispers something to the guard, and he kind of gives a nod. He like hurries out the door. He kind of like shoves past you guys, and Rolex, he kind of ducks under your head a little bit here as your head is just kind of like inside, and you see him hurry off. Unless there's anything you guys want to do.
Can I
Kill
try
him?
to like listen? Right, them too. Can I try to listen to what that whispered conversation was?
Make a perception or investigation check for me, please.
I'm going perception.
Les might try to like.
First 20 of the night.
Plus
all right, well,
7, 27.
Les, you just hear by osmosis because of how good Rays just rolled right there. Natural 20.
Like I make eye contact with Les, and I'm mouthing it as I'm hearing it, so he can kind of read it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like that telephone game where you're just hearing things from 1%. So what you hear is you hear, my goodness, get the guard captain down here now. This is absolutely priority one for us. No one leaves this place here. We need to make sure we apprehend everyone and take them down here. Lord Phineas is going to absolutely lose his mind. What would you like to do?
Oof. Okay.
I mean, she was again, and Rays, you are aware she was very important. Again, your organization, wouldn't have you do what you did to a degree here. And again, this is for Rays here. I know I'm talking to everybody as a group, but you guys are not aware of any of this kind of stuff. But again, you know that she is that important of a person.
Okay. Now the biggest issue here is weighing if it would look. What would be better, to get the hell out of Dodge or to just play along with this investigation?
What was that last name again? Sorry.
Steelden. And as the one guard walks past you, Ophidian, because I imagine that you didn't go upstairs with them, right? You just kind of are inside the bar still.
Yep, just hanging out.
Yeah. As you walk past, you see a guard like hurry down here. He leans over to the barmaid and he whispers, "No one leaves here. order of the gods. And he puts down a small piece of paper in front of her. And again, you recognize this is just an official like warrant that they carry around to like go into buildings, seize things. It's like a kind of a catch-all thing that the guards use, and a lot of them, as you are aware of, kind of use these things to abuse their power to a degree. That's the kind of city that they're in. As he walks out, he pulls out a small stone on his from his collar, and he goes, I need four obsidian god here now. You recognize this is a type of sending stone that they use to communicate with each other throughout the city, and he starts to make his way towards the front door.
Do you leave that warrant on the table?
Yes, and the barmaid, she kind of looks and she goes, oh, God, another one of these things. She goes to grab it, and she looks it over, and she goes, all right, everyone here. She looks over, and like the bar is, relatively...
I interrupt her.
What is it?
I grab the paper. Don't worry about that. No, don't worry about it.
Make a persuasion check then for me, please.
I will.
Fidian, you slander.
Since she doesn't know you very well, let's see how persuasive you are.
Oh!
That's still an 11, though.
Yeah, I'm like double proficient.
He's got expertise, but it was a natural 1 plus 10.
Damn.
Yeah. So as you go,
what happens,
As you go, don't worry about that. Here, you grab the paper and you just rip it.
Even better.
As she's holding on to it, and she goes, she kind of tries to snatch it back out of your hand. She goes, this is an official warrant, and besides, the gods here, they'll come in here, they'll do their thing, and they'll be gone. Listen up, you lot. Listen up here, all right? Drinks are on the house for right now here. No one leaves. We have half of an actual Wintermere writ here saying that we need to stay. She looks at you and she goes, yeah, no free drinks for you, though. And she goes over and she puts it...
I think that now means half of us can stay and half can go.
Is there anything else that you would like to try to do?
No, that was pointless.
I'd like to roll
Lord.
to recover,
That always
please.
happens for my expertise rolls, by the way.
It does
Yeah.
I always
suck.
roll like shit.
Well, yeah, because you can afford it.
Yeah. All right. So with that, the guard leaves. A few minutes go by. Is there anything that three of you want to do in the room? The man, he's now starting to go through.
I want to leave the building.
All right.
I
So
will stealth out if I have to.
sure, yeah, make a stealth check, because again, the guard is like, he walked outside. He's not like he didn't like leave the room. He's on outside talking to through his walkie-talkie stone. Okay.
Yeah.
With a 20, yeah, you can sneak out of there if you would like to. You kind of wait for him to turn his back, and you see down the hallway. You like kind of time it perfectly as he's going on. He goes, yes, bring more of the obsidian gods here. We're going to have several people we might need to detain and bring down to the station.
What
Yes.
other businesses or buildings are near here?
So you're in you're on like the second level of the actual like blocks of, again, if we all remember, the buildings are massive in size. They go up multiple levels, 20, 30 stories here. You're on like the second level here. Around you, right across from you, it looks like there is a makeshift kind of like medical center, and then there's like an apothecary store right next to that, and then there are several people's homes, because a lot of these stores are actually people's homes that they've converted into some sort of business to make some sort of living on there. So there's your pick of choice right now in terms of open buildings. There's quite a few people back there. You see some kids playing inside the hallway. You see some of the adults and things like that kind of going to and from their business. What would you like to do?
I would like to start a fire in the apothecary's places.
Poor apothecary place. Okay, all right. So you head over to Jeanette's apothecary. It is actually a pretty cute looking, like almost like a half living room like kind of stall. She has like the front door has like a opening window on there, and you can see it says, welcome, come in. And inside you can see the living quarters clearly, and then you can see she has like several like makeshift kind of wooden shelves with different kind of herbs, vials, things like that on there. As you enter in, you see this halfling woman. She kind of looks up from behind her behind her table. Looks like she's brewing something, and she goes, welcome in. What can I do for you? I don't think I've seen you in here before.
I'm just looking around.
Got a match.
Yeah, looking for anything specific?
I'll let you know if I find it.
Oh, Oh, okay, all right. Well, it's not a very large shop, so if you have any questions, just let me know. And she kind of goes back to doing her thing. I'll let you decide how you want to try to burn this place down. As we'll go back to the other group here real quick. What do you guys want to do? The guard inside, he's looking. He turns the body. He's like turning it gently, and he starts like going through like the pockets and things, and he starts going through different items on here. Is there anything that you three would like to try to do?
I don't think Rays would be all that inclined to do anything at this point in time. Nobody thinks he's a suspect, and he's kind of got a pretty solid alibi, at least as solid as anybody else in this building.
Okay.
I think
Rolex
Rolex probably just being down the hall and hearing when the free drinks was announced would probably just go people watch in the bar, because I think at this point this has kind of gotten boring. Les was the interesting part of the investigation for Rolex, and now it's like, whatever. And he'll just head out to the bar area and find a seat.
Okay. Les, what do you want to do?
He'll, I guess, walk up next to the guard that's checking out Shayla's body. So what do you think it looks like? To me, it looks definitely like the sword went straight in. Was it through the mouth and then out the neck, or how did that go again?
It went in through the throat and down through the chest to pierce her heart.
It looks straight through the chest and down into the heart. That's what it looks like to me.
He looks and he goes, yes, and according to your notes here, it looks like it was a guard blade.
Yes. Are the weapons still scattered? The weapons still there in the was it a bag or was it a...
No, I left the weapon in her body. The bag containing the Peshar family emblem, the gold, and the hit notice. Yeah. That was being held by her hand on the ground.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And as he's going through her pockets, and he's like being gentle with the body, he gets to that bag finally, and he starts to look through it here.
It looks like it was one of your own.
He looks and he goes, not according to these. Look at this. He looks very, very concerned, as you guys would know, being in the city, that the families, they do fight with each other, and it is often very bloody and very violent when it does happen. And something like this is going to potentially lead to a lot of deaths. So with that, he looks at you and goes, all right, we need to leave out of here. I need the two of you to, again, wait here while our guards come here to secure the scene. Please exit the room. Are you guys listening to them?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to be fully compliant for now. I'll grab myself a drink.
Okay. All right. Ophidian, what are you doing?
I want to see if she already has something burning. I want to see if I can use something already in use to start a fire. If not, or if I have to move it to someplace to catch something on fire. I don't want it to be quick. I want it to be very slow.
Okay. All right, make an investigation or perception check then.
Ophidian didn't start the fire.
Yeah, he did.
Bigger.
Totally did. It was me.
Hey, you said you wanted one that was already going.
Good God, Chris.
Oh, no.
Another one?
So that's 6.
It turns out it was you on fire, smoldering the whole time you explode.
The only fire here is your burning passion for arson.
Apparently.
As you are looking for things, she kind of gets a little bit up in your personal bubble, because you can see that she hasn't had a lot of customers here, maybe, and it's very hard because she's kind of rabbiting around you, going, "Well, have you tried this here? This is a great ointment. This right here. This is great here." And you're kind of trying to see things. She's kind of fully ignored what she's doing, and she wasn't actually burning or brewing anything. It looks like she was grinding up some leaves and things, and a pestle and a mortar. But yeah, with what you rolled, you don't see anything that you would immediately say, oh, this would create a slow burning fire that would be, what you were looking for here. What would you like to try to do at this point?
I'm going to ask her if she has a couple items that I would think that she would not have, and be like, you have to go check in the back. Just give me some more time to do something.
Okay. Give me an item. What would you ask for?
I would say something in abyssal, just so it just sounds crazy weird. Like, hey, do you have this? And just total bullshit.
She make me a deception or persuasion check. Now let's see if you can convince her, because she is again
deception.
She's very adamant. You're a customer. You're in her store.
Oh my!
Good God!
That's how
Go
it's gonna work for me.
directly to jail. Do not collect $200.
That's how it's gonna work for me.
So everybody who's watching here, that's 3 natural ones that Chris's character Ophidian has rolled tonight.
4
I'm just gonna leave the store.
Three out of 4 rolls.
There's like some sort of curse symbols in that doorway for your character.
As you say something to her in Abyssal, she gets deeply offended, and she goes, that's the language of the monsters, the demons. We don't serve that kind. She points to a sign that says no Abyssal. And she like starts to push you outside of her shop. With the natural one, I'm going to say that you kind of just like, okay, let's get out of here.
I bombed on that one.
Yeah, you look across. There is the medical plaza that's right now, medical like center right next to it, right over there. You do see there is what looks to be like it's like one of those like tiki huts almost. It's a place that just serves kind of drinks and things for passing individuals on the go and stuff. There's more places down the hallway, just a little bit here. If you're still looking for a place to start a fire,
I'm just gonna hang outside and see how things play out.
You see the door to the apothecary just slam shut and the sign turn closed on it as that happens.
I want you to make him roll to loiter and see if he gets a 1. I guess not. Chris had to step away for a moment.
He had to step away legitimately to cool off after all of those.
He had to go puke.
3 1s.
Damn.
Okay.
He needs to get new virtual dice.
Yeah, there we go.
That's a rarity right there. You see 3 natural ones back to back. Okay. So you guys wait. It takes about maybe 10 minutes, and all of a sudden the bar is flushed with guards. There's about 15 of them that show up, and you guys see the guard captain, the person that you guys have seen before, the one who talked to Sifia outside. You see him come in, take off his helmet, carrying it under his arm. He has several guards flanked, and you hear the heavy footsteps of these obsidian soldiers clink, clink behind him as he enters in. He looks inside the bar at all of the people who are sitting there. He looks over at the one guard who is holding the evidence that you presented. He walks over and he kind of hands it over to him. Is there anything that you guys want to do?
You said this was one of the same guards from the town that we fought?
No, this is the captain of the guard, the Garthok, the person that is the Wintermere's right-hand man, the person that you guys have seen numerous times.
Okay. He was the guy that went to the dock to go and start the fires and whatnot?
Yes, he's the one who commanded them to go to it. Yes.
Okay. So he hasn't actually seen us before, but
No.
we've seen him. Okay.
Yes.
I guess just try to keep our distance and just stay quiet for now.
Okay. He whispers over to one of his other soldiers. It's a female. She is very tall in stature, but she has several scars across her face. And he whispers something to her. She walks upstairs real quick, and she goes up into that room. You see her open the door and look inside. As she does, she looks around and she comes back downstairs, and she kind of gives him a nod. He looks over at everybody inside of here, and he goes, "You two." He points over to you, Les, and to you, Rays. He goes, he just kind of gives you a little bit of a nod to come over towards him.
Yes.
You two are the ones that discovered Shayla's body, yes?
Yes.
What time did you discover this body?
Raise?
I would say roughly early morning, maybe 7 or 8, right around when breakfast was being served.
He looks over at you, Rolex, and he goes, "And you there, machine. My
Yes.
God says that you were the one who insisted that the barmaid bring people in here. How many people were in the bar when you told her? Was it the people who are in here right now?"
Does that sound right?
Sounds about right. Yeah. You would say, you'd say it sounds about right.
The number is the same, yes.
He looks and he goes, All right. This is a very serious transgression that has occurred here. Please, the three of you, do not leave the premise until I have officially, what's the right word? Until I've officially given you permissions. Is that understood?
I believe all murders are important to research and study to make sure that you find the right person involved. So yes, we will stay here.
Absolutely. He looks at the guard. He goes, and you, Jareth, is it? Yes, I'm the one who found them. Me and the other guard, Gerald, over there. We were also here. He's like, the two of you, please maintain inside here and do not let anyone leave under any circumstances. He turns and he gives a nod to the to his right-hand woman, and the door closes behind him, and you can hear a heavy kind of like clink, clink stand outside of it. Is there anything that you guys want to do?
I guess we're in the clink.
Haha.
Not at this time, no.
Now Rolex is, like it was saying, is going to continue people watching, but he wants to keep a specific eye on the guards.
Okay, make me an investigation check or a perception check. Let's see if you.
So we're outside of the room now, right?
No, you guys are still in the bar.
We're in the bar, which is not inside the room.
Yeah, not
right.
The murder room.
Investigation or perception.
Raises playground.
Investigation for me then. Let's see. An investigation check yields a 20.
Ooh, 12 plus 8 is that's a healthy investigation. Okay, so which guards are you trying to listen in on? Is it the two that you have already talked to before? Or is it anybody outside the door to the bar that's now been closed? Which one would Rolex be more interested in?
What I want to say is from the time he went out and sat in there, he's just been watching people, and he's more interested in that this woman was killed, so he's going to pay more attention to the people that interact with that. So whichever guards come and go, and just really paying attention to what they're doing and what they're saying. Not that he's suspicious or anything, but just extremely curious.
Okay, all right. With your extreme curiosity, you do take peak notice of the lead guard who came in here, the one that you've seen before, and again, you know that is a powerful individual when it comes down to his status, and the two guards that are talking to them before he comes in, you overhear the two guards discussing. I cannot imagine what is going to happen with Garthok. He is going to absolutely go insane here. The task force has failed. Lord Phineas is going to again lose his best inventor. I know. Shh. They're kind of keeping it hush. They're very, very nervous for this. And then, as you were people watching, when the woman came back and she walked up to him, she kind of just, you overhear with a 20, you overhear her go, "Yes, it is Shyla. It seems like it might have been the Bashar family." And he goes, "This needs to be cleaned." And he just turns and he leaves. And that's when he kind of dispersed everybody and told everyone to wait in the room.
Okay. Does Rolex know anything about the Bashar family other than it's a powerful family?
Sure, make a history check, or if you have a different kind of check you would like to try to make to see if you know about them, let me know.
Let me see. So I think for him it would probably be history regardless, because most of what he might know would be old information anyway, since he's only been active for a few years. So let's go ahead with history. Yeah, 8. 3 plus 5, not so much.
Yeah, you know of the main names of the Bashar family.
Okay.
You know that they are, again, one of the 3 families, the triumvirate of families that are inside of Erridan. They're not the most powerful family. That would still be the Wintermere. They're probably second in terms of that, and they've been trying to get power, but you don't know much more than that.
So what I think I'm gathering, and what I would share with Les is, it sounds, so last conversation, it sounds like the Bashar family has done this against Wintermere. Are they trying to take over?
Can I do a history check to see if I would have any knowledge of their beef? Okay.
Sure.
17.
17. With a 17, yeah, that tracks. You think that, yes, you know, and again, you used to guard one of the last surviving members of the Jurlik family.
Yeah.
And they were very, very much aware of the political gains and how to, again, apply pressure. And they were firsthand subjected to the rise of the Wintermere family and how they squeezed them out of power, how they did things like this to kill their main if you the old school mafia stuff, their main kind of consigliaries and things like that here. So yeah, that tracks for you with the 17. What Rolex has kind of put out there for you, and what you saw in that satchel with the Pashar family stuff when the guy was bringing it out there, and because Reyes did a great job of framing the room when he made his hit, it definitely tracks. That you fully believe that that's probably what the case is.
Okay. Yeah, I'll tell him that it does seem to track.
Yeah.
And it seems like when they are done, we can probably leave.
Okay.
More than likely. I'm going to go talk to everyone here because I told you to have the barmaid not let anyone leave earlier anyway. So I'm going to see when people went to sleep, just see if they've seen anyone that looked suspicious, that stayed up later or around when they went to bed. They still saw them. And I'm just going to ask around just to get more information because it still seems strange to me.
Okay. Make me an investigation check then to see if you can determine whom would be viable suspects.
Oops.
Or what you can just see what's going on in the street.
As Les walks off, I want Rolex to go over to Reyes, and Rolex would just like sit next to Reyes if they weren't already near each other, and just say, "Isn't this fun?"
In more ways than you can understand, my dear mechanical friend.
There is so many interesting things, and so many. It's a shame that she died.
Okay. Anything you want to say to that, Reyes? Sorry, I was looking at the dice roll. I said that. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Reyes is gonna. Okay, yeah, Reyes. He can't help himself here because things are going perfectly. He will give a sly grin as he takes another drink, and then he'll get it back together. Yes, a real shame, and I'm so embarrassed that someone on my watch, under my care, would be assaulted.
Yes.
What's that?
Let's see what Les is doing.
Okay. All right, cool. So with a natural 20 plus 1, Les, you see that there are some people in there who are kind of like getting nervous, like some legs are shaking up and down and stuff like that. Some of them are taking nervous drinks at things. The barmaid she's also looking, she's trying to like tape back together like the warrant as she's sitting there. But she looks nervous as well. And as it's happening, you see one of the people like kind of get up and go, all right, I have to go. I can't be here. He gets up and he goes to open up the door to the bar. What would you like to do? That's what you see. With the natural 20, you see all these little twitches and things. Now, you're not sure exactly if they're guilty, but they definitely seem very nervous. And that's after the Garthok, who was the very no-nonsense head of the Phineas, head of the Wintermere family's guard, who came by, who's locked them all inside. What would you like to do, Les?
I would approach the guy who went to the door first and be like, "Oh, easy there, buddy. You don't want to get, you don't want to try to do that. The consequences, even if you're not guilty, will be very substantial. You should probably sit back down."
Yeah, but with a 20, he kind of goes. It's a young man. He's got like kind of like a part like of a beard growing in. You can see that it's very patchy and stuff. He looks very, very nervous. He goes, "I just came here for breakfast. Now there's been a murder of somebody of high stature. I can't be here. I can't be here. I can't go to the stations. I can't do any of those things." What would you like to say to him, Les, to try to calm him down?
No one knows fully what happened. They're not looking at anybody in particular right now. So you need to just relax and just it won't do you any good to stress out now, because even if you do get taken to the station, you're just going to lose your mind right now and look guilty, even if you're not. So
okay. With that here, you calm him down. But now that Ophidion's back, Ophidian, outside, after you've been exiled from Jeanette's apothecary, you see this almost armada of individuals coming up here, led by Garthok, the person who is the head of the Wintermere's Guard, person you know very well, person you've seen several times. You see him go in and out of the building as the group just had an exchange with him while you were stepped away. As he comes out, you can see the woman who's next to him, like his number 2. She's well dressed and well armored. She's got scars on her face. She gives a nod to one of the Obsidian guards, one of the big hulking machines, and you can see that machine close the door and like bar it from the inside, from the outside. And then Garthok just kind of walks past, and she looks over at some of the guards who are there, and she gives them a little bit of a nod, and you can see them starting to take things out of their jackets, and you can see them starting to assemble what looks to be bundles of twine, bundles of different items, and they're starting to affix it to the walls and the doors. What would you like to do, Ophidian?
How many Obsidian guards are here?
There's probably about 8 Obsidian. Sorry, there were 4 Obsidian guards, the big mechanical soldiers.
Yeah.
There are 2 of them that are in there in the hallway right now, both of them flanking the door. And then there are about 5 guards. There were much more, but the rest of them seem to have left and went down the hallway with Garthok. He seems to be heading down and out of the building. But yes, there's about 4 guards right there, and there's 2 Obsidian guards who are outside the door to the tavern.
And who's the chick with scars? I don't know who she is.
Make me a history check, please, or an insight check, if to see if you know what her name is.
So
Chris, for goodness sakes,
don't
use the one that you have a bonus on.
That's the thing. My history is horrible, right? Because my intelligence is crap. That's what I should roll. But my insight's like expertise. But I'm going to roll that one to see how.
Oh man!
Here we go. Come on, baby.
Woo.
Hey,
Hey,
that was a close one.
All right, hey, a 9 plus 8, 17. So very good. So with that, you recognize this woman's name. She is basically the right-hand person behind Garthok. She kind of executes on all of the things that need to be done to a high level. Her name is Lethanel. Is her name?
Lethanel?
Lethanel is her name.
Mike Tyson would love that name.
There you go. And
somebody got it.
As soon as she says, as soon as she motions to them and kind of gives them and talks to them, you see them pulling out things from their cloaks. She walks off as well, so she's not hanging around. It's just these guards and then these Obsidian guards who are there.
So, what kind of? You said we're in a building and has multiple stories and stuff. What kind of how big is this hallway? Is it like?
It's cramped. It's not great. It's again, you're in the slum districts here, so things are not built like according to like comfort needs. They're built because they need capacity. So the hallway is only about maybe 5 or 6 feet wide. You can see the Obsidian guards when they turn, they almost take up the entire hallway when they are fully stretched out. So it's not a lot of room in these hallways here.
And what's the traffic like with normal people? Like,
people have given the guards a wide berth, but down the hallway you can see there are several people, and a lot of them are like just kind of like right now, like if there's something that happens, there's like a cordon off, and there's like a crowd of people like at the barricade watching. So down the hallways each way, you can see there are people who are watching and who are interested in, but in the immediate area, it's relatively clear.
Okay, and how many entry or exits are there to the meat and mash?
To the meat and mash, right now you can only see the one, which is the one they're standing in front of.
Okay.
There is another building next to it. It looks like a home, and you know that there are homes that are adjoined to other things. So you could probably potentially, if you're needing to get in there, you can go through that home and try to make your way to the meat and mash through one of the side doors. But in this hallway here, there's only one entrance.
All right, I will stay put for now, just observing.
Okay.
What the guards are doing.
As you observe, the guards, they place these bundles on the walls and the doors. And then you can see them, one of them, he's got like kind of like a 5 o'clock shadow. He's a little bit rough looking. He goes, all right, let's clean this up like Garthok said. No foul ups here. He strikes a match on his chin, and he starts to light each bundle. And as each bundle starts to light, you can see the guards start to make their way out, and the 2 Obsidian guard mechanical machines take a few steps back away as well down the hallways. One of them is heading towards you, Ophidian, not paying attention to you because, again, you seem inconspicuous at the time, but he is moving towards you here. As you can see, these wicks just kind of moving up towards the bundles.
And how many bundles were there?
There are about 5.
All right. I'm just going to let it play out.
Okay.
Let me make sure my other character's leveled up.
I need everybody in the bar to make me a Constitution saving throw, please. So raise less Rolex, please.
I can do that.
Yeah. And as smoke starts to pour off of these things here, Ophidian, you see these the two mechanical machines that are down, one on one side of the hall, one on the other side. This little mechanical slot opens on their chest, and this fan starts to push this smoke into the actual meat and mash tavern. It starts to funnel all the stuff that's kind of burning from there. Okay, let's see what you guys got here. So con save Rolex 21. We have less a 17 and poor raise with an 8. So as you guys are sitting in the bar, and Les, as you're holding on to the guy going, it'll be okay. It'll be okay.
Do I recognize that as a certain kind of poison?
Sure. Make me a nature check or a survival check, or if you have a different idea for what kind of check you might want, let me know.
I am familiar with poisons. Yeah, I'm trying to think what would make the most sense with that.
Could be medicine, nature, or I would say potentially survival check is what I would go towards.
Yeah, we'll go for, let's say, medicine. Can I get advantage because I have skill with poison?
Sure. Yeah, I think that works. Yeah. You're Yon T pure blood. That makes sense. That was it was a good thing you had advantage on that because that was a natural 1, but that didn't exist here. That just didn't exist. That was a 13 plus 2 for a 15 total. So with that here, you oh no. You recognize the scent in there, and you immediately take a few steps back. This particular scent it's basically like a catatonic kind of poison. It basically renders anyone who is susceptible to it paralyzed. They kind of drop down. They just get their bodies kind of go into almost this comatose-like state here. And it makes it very easy if someone's trying to, say, cover something up, dispose of evidence, get rid of a group of people, something like that there. It makes it very easy for them to come in and mop up if everyone is just kind of on the floor.
All right. What I know, I mean, I'm immune to poisons, but I assume I'm immune to this effect.
You would assume that you are highly resistant to it up to a certain level. Again, it's pretty potent, but yeah, you think that you'd probably be okay.
All right, I'll try to find a way in through one of those, hopefully adjoining homes.
So the closest door to it is it's like a mahogany style door here. It looks kind of worn down. It's locked right now. You can try to pick the lock or knock on the door, however you want to do it.
It's apothecary, and the sign says.
Yeah, it's actually Jeanette's house. And, I know she's not home. She's working, so.
She went home after that disturbing incident.
That's true.
Well, can I pick the lock without too much people noticing me, or is it?
Well, you're
definitely. Hey, what's that guy doing?
You're definitely going to see people who are down the hallway looking down towards what's going on here. They're kind of getting pushed back by some of the guards. You see, there's a couple of them back there, pushing them back here. The two constructs that are in there are not looking at you, so you could probably do it here. We just need a little bit of a stealth or a sleight of hand check.
All right, I will stealth. The stealth just to not be noticed.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see if it works this time.
14. Okay, with the 14, with the 14,
pretty good.
That one was dangerously close by.
With a 14, it seems like you're just trying to frantically maybe get into your home a little bit here. So even though maybe some people might notice you, they don't kind of put 2 and 2 together that you're trying to break in.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, so with the 14,
I will attempt to pick the lock. Then.
You should always carry a ring of keys and then have the lock picks right there, so it looks like you're trying to put the right key in.
Make me a lock picking check then, please. A thieves' tools check.
What do I use for that? Sleight of hand for that? No.
Yeah, we can use sleight of hand for that. That has your proficiency bonus on it already. Basically, it's just a dex check.
Hey, good job.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You get the locks in there. You find the tumbler and clink, clink, and you push your way
This is
inside.
my house.
Yep, and you just kind of open the door and close it really quickly. Now, before we go into what you see inside here, Les and Rolex, you smell the kind of this smoke coming in here. You can see smoke pouring in from like the cracks in the walls. Again, this place is not the best built. You guys are slumming it or up in the districts here, and you can see things going on. You see several people like start to cough, and then some of them start to kind of just fall down. Some of them fall face first into their soup. Some of them again just kind of fall back onto the barmaid. She just kind of like and she kind of just falls over onto one side. You see Raze is sitting there, kind of happy how things have progressed here. But Raze, as you start to feel your lungs like kind of seize up. You start to struggle for breath, and then you feel your muscles kind of like lock. And as this happens, your body just kind of tenses up, and you just kind of start to fall out of your chair. Now, Rolex, you're right next to him. You can try to grab him if you want to.
Yeah, I would definitely try to grab Raze.
No need to make a check for that here. You're close enough. You can easily grab onto him. But you can see now clearly that he is he's in a bad way right now. His body is locked up. He's not able to really move. His eyes are kind of darting back and forth. What would you guys like to do?
Les will quickly say, everybody, we got to escape here. Everybody out.
As you say this here, about half the room is already passed out on the ground or locked up on the ground here. The other half are starting to freak out. Some of them are like making their way over to like the windows and trying to open up the window to the back room. Again, the window doesn't seem to open. And they're all like these small kind of like port windows here, so they'd be very hard to get out of. What would you like to do, Les and Rolex?
Did the windows, when I investigated them earlier, look like the windows in the rooms were big enough for people to get out?
Not really, no. Again, you guys are like in like this kind of a center mass of the building to a degree, so there's not a whole lot of views that are going out there. They're like more like to let some of the light coming in, because there's like the buildings themselves are big rectangles, and the center is hollowed out, and you guys go around like the outsides of the buildings here, so there's some light that goes through there that allows light to get into some of the lower levels. There's not like a view with like they don't have massive windows in there because of that.
Okay. Les will quickly reach to his bag and wrap something or a scarf or something he has for the colder weather around his face, and then quickly make his way to his team. We need to get to the kitchen. There has to be another way out of the kitchen for emergencies.
Okay. All right. So as you do this here, the young man you were shaking, like you look back at him and he's like, and he's stuck. The only thing that's keeping him from falling is you're holding on to him. What would you like to do with him, Les?
It's nothing I really can do at this time. He's just going to take note of who this person was, and that the best he can describe him to himself in his head right now until he can write it down, and just know to look out for him in the future if he can.
So you're just going to drop him on the floor?
Yeah, pretty much. Because he was like, put him down, telling people to get out, and then wrap that around his head because he needed both his hands.
Okay, yeah. So as you do that and you're wrapping around your head, you just see him, and he kind of falls down on the ground.
Because he was already susceptible to it, so there was nothing you could do. So.
Okay. Rolex, you hear Les say this here. You see a couple of the people like getting up and like trying to like fight their way as the smoke is starting to rise up from the floor level here. Some of them one of them like goes to the door and is like banging on the door, like, let us out. And there's the doorway to the back part of the tavern, which you assume would be the kitchen, through the doorway behind the counter. You guys can head back there if you like. You can take Raze if you like as well.
I want to, Rolex will grab Raze and just bring him along and follow Les. Les
will grab Raze's legs to make it quicker for us to get out.
Okay, all right, yeah. Easy enough between the two of you with your strengths. You don't even need to make a check for that here. You guys easily pick up Raze. Raze, you're just kind of like there as your friends grab you and start to haul you out of the room. As you guys make your way through the back, you can see it's a very like modest kitchen, and it's also the bathroom and the shower as well. You kind of get the sense that this is not the cleanest establishment when it comes down to eating.
Yeah.
As you make your way to the back, you're like, oh, this is why it says employees only at the door. Okay. Make me an investigation check to see if you guys, or a perception check, whatever you guys want, to see if you can figure out a way out from here. And then Ophidian, while they're doing that, inside this small home that you pop into, you can see there is the living room area that you're in here. You can see they have like half walls that have been made and like kind of like stuck out this way, kind of like making bunk beds leading up there. And there's about probably 5 or 6 individuals in this house. They all look at you, and they were like all eating like their lunch, and they're looking at you going, "Can we help you?"
Is there a way into the meat and mash from your home?
No, well, there's the front doors over there for the meat and mash if you want to go that way.
Is there a way in from your home?
Make me a persuasion check to see if you can do it, as they're all like kind of sitting there with their like porridge like dripping off their spoons, watching you.
22.
Hey, okay, 22. And then so as they say this here, the father, he's got like this long graying beard. He goes, the meat and mash, there used to be a door here, and he kind of points over at behind one of the portraits. It was kind of plastered over when we moved in, but I think there's a hatch over there somewhere.
I'll check it out then.
Yeah. With that, you go over there and you can see, there's like, as you like take their family portrait down and you put it over to the side, you can see there's like an outline inside there of like this hatch. With Rolex and Les, both of you, again, not too bad, 17 and 16s respectively. Yeah. You guys see that it's a small, cramped kitchen. You definitely see that the food is probably expired to a lot of the stuff. And as you're going through and kind of moving things out of the way, you also see that there is looks to be where the wall was like patched together. There's like an outline of like a hole in there, but the smoke is getting bigger and bigger in there. Now, Rolex, I forgot, I don't think you actually breathe.
No, however, as far as poison goes, I am resistant to poison and have advantage on saving throws against it.
That's right. Okay, because I forgot. Warforged have that ability. It's been a while since we played here.
Immune to disease, but poison is resistant.
Okay. I need you both to make me another con check then to resist this poison. You have advantage on that roll, so go ahead.
Yeah.
Would the cover help me, the official covering help me at all with that? Or no?
What's covering your face? Is just regular cloth?
It's like a scarf. Yeah, I wrapped it around my face a couple of times.
I would say it probably wouldn't help you out with this kind of thing here. But that's a natural 20 from Rolex. Yeah. So Rolex, you feel fine. You have no idea what these organics are worried about here. With this
it's not that bad.
I tried rolling, but I think I'm having an issue. It said they were having a connection issue. So
that means that Les just dies.
Les is dead. Yeah.
Straight up deadsies.
Yeah. And then
a blade appears through him, and turns out Ray's has just stabbed him.
Oh man!
I guess I'll go old school real quick.
Old school here.
16. So I have don't know what that would be plus.
16 saves. So no worries. No need to add anything else. 16. Okay. Is it marker? Rays, make me a con save as well with disadvantage because you are already susceptible to the poison. But we're going to see how much damage happens to you as your body is locked up and you're gasping for air and trying to again generally survive. That is a 12. So with that, Rays, you take. You take 10 points of damage. Ouch. As your body is like seizing, you're struggling for breath, and as the smoke is filling your lungs even more, you're starting to again, your body's starting to like try to like violently protect itself, but it's causing you some pain, it's causing you muscle spasm, things like that here. Okay.
Can I speak at all?
You can try. You can make any kind of. If you want to try to say something, you have to make a persuasion check with disadvantage to see if you can actually get it out.
Okay. Now, how does that translate in regards to spell casting?
Same thing. So if it's a verbal or component spell like that, what you have to do it here, you can try. Absolutely. What would you like to do?
I would like to try to cast Dimension Door.
Okay.
I'm fairly certain I would know a safe place within 500 feet to teleport you, considering that this is a place I specifically chose because I knew it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
The destination, I don't think, is the issue. The issue is actually attempting it. And that is that still a persuasion?
So if you're trying to cast Dimension Door, make me an Arcana check to see if you can actually get it off using your limited range of movement, your limited ability to vocalize, your limited ability to do anything else. Let's just see if you can do it here.
All right. And this was disadvantage, correct?
For Arcana, yeah, I would say disadvantage with this one here. But let's see if you can do it.
Who knows? Maybe.
Wow.
20 total.
That is beautiful. That was a natural 20 and a 17 plus. Everyone's getting Chris's good rolls.
Yeah,
here
that's
that Chris
right.
would have had. Chris is just he took one for the team.
Yeah.
Took one for the team and just got rid of all the bad rolls early on. So
are either of them looking at me as I start trying to cast?
It's up to you two.
Rolex would be because he's carrying you essentially.
We both are.
So yeah, you would hear like Ray just like, go now, and then I'd cast.
Who are you taking with? You can take one person through Dimension Door with you if you want to, or you can leave them both there.
Ooh. What's my alignment again?
well, this portal starts to flicker and open up here. As the door starts to open dimensionally here, we're gonna go and call it right there, and we're gonna see who Reyes decides to save with him on the next one. So we will call it for this particular episode here, but we will be back soon with the exciting decision from Reyes on who he's going to take with him through his dimension portal on the next episode.
Damn it! Did I just open the door to the next episode again?
Yeah, exactly. I thought it was a perfect fitting, and
this time it was in another dimension.
We only end with open doors of some sort. So
there we go.
It's on brand. So it's on brand.
We will wrap this one up. Here we go.
The preceding podcast was brought to you by One Joe Young. You can find us online at adventuresfromtheshed.com.
Two things. Chris is number one, and Eli, curse your sudden but inedible betrayal.
Yes.
Look.
That was good.
And the ending fight is just going to be you guys in a door factory. That's all it's going to be.
Nice.
You guys in a massive door factory.